Hi, I'm Falada, and I hope you're having a wonderful holiday season so far. Today we're going to prepare a garlic rosemary roast beef, and because this is really such an easy recipe, we're going to make it a twofer and fix some roasted honey garlic carrots to go with it. So the thing to remember about preparing any holiday foods from the Middle Ages is that the period before was a fasting period. So the foods would have been mostly bland and just what you would need to maintain your energy, sustain your body. After the fasting period, in this instance, a good solid piece of red meat with some strong aromatic spices and herbs would have been considered a welcome change. So what we're going to use as our main aromatic is some garlic. Garlic not only is very pungent, so it would have been a welcome aroma to the nose, but because of its perceived medicinal benefits, it would have been an obvious choice of a seasoning during this period. For the roast, what we have here is about a little over 2 pound bottom round roast. And you can see it's got some nice marbling to it. Now this is a little bit more expensive a cut of meat than I would normally use, but hey, it's holidays, so splurged a little bit. But there's no reason why you couldn't use any fairly good size cut roast type cut up to including a chuck roast, which I know sometimes can be a little tough. You may need to marinate it at first, but you should be able to use just about any type. This is really an easy enough recipe that if you wanted to do it during the weekday, you could. Little prep, but it's not hard. So anyway, we've got our roast, our beef roast. We've got some olive oil, some cloves of garlic, and what I've done is sliced these up. Now, if you do not have whole cloves of garlic, there is no reason why you can't use minced from a bottle. Like I said, easy enough recipe. You should be able to do it during the week if you wanted to for a regular dinner. and there's no problem using any kind of a spice as long as you know it's fresh. If you've got a bottle of cinnamon that's 2 years old sitting on your cabinet, on your counter, you may want to chunk that and get something a little newer. But as long as your spice is fresh in the bottle, or as you see here with a clove or whatever, you can use whatever. I've got some rosemary, some parsley, and this is thyme. So this was fresh that I bought at the store. Unfortunately, my green thumb, well, I don't have one. So, but from what I understand, rosemary is fairly easy to grow. You can grow your own. But all I did was take this and chop it up, and so then I will take the herbs and combine them with the olive oil for this. So we'll get to that in a minute. But those just basic aromatic herbs, rosemary being your primary, and some garlic cloves, and a nice beef roast and olive oil. Okay, then for your carrots, you'll need salt, pepper, salt and pepper, butter, some more garlic. I just clove that up. It's going to be browned. And then some carrots. Now, I've got baby carrots here. Baby carrots are lovely. You would just prep them. Some people just scrub them. I prefer to use a peeler and peel them. So I've got those because they're a little pretty, and if you're doing a holiday meal, you would want the prettier vegetables, of course. But there's absolutely no reason why you can't use baby carrots. You know, you buy them in a bag. So I guess you'd need about 2 pounds of carrots, some honey, and a little cinnamon, and those are your ingredients for this. Okay, to prepare your roast, you either need a sharp knife, or I actually prefer to use my kitchen shears. I find it works a lot easier. You will wash and dry your roast, and then what you're going to do is you're going to cut small slits into your roast. I don't know if you can see this, but I find using my shears, poke them in, bring together, nice little slit. So you're going to want to make a series of slits in your roast all over the top. And of course, that time I hit some gristle, so it's going to lie to me about how easy using my shears are. Anyway, so what I've done is just a whole series of these slits. Nothing major. Then I'm going to take my sliced garlic and insert them in the slits in the roast. So you want to make sure that they're fairly uniform. You're going to want to make sure that they're fairly evenly divided across the roast. Just put a nice piece of garlic in each one of those, just like so. Looks like in this instance I may have not made quite enough slits. I'm going to make a couple more. About midway down the roast, not necessarily all the way through, but you do want to get it down below the surface and into the body of the meat. So I can tell you it smells like garlic in here. So, okay. So there you can see it's basically slits with your garlic inserted. After you have inserted your garlic into your roast, you're going to want to set that aside, and then you're going to want to wash your hands. You are dealing with raw meat. Wash your hands. Once you do that, get a small bowl and put your aromatic herbs into the bowl, like so. You might, I've saved a couple of sprigs of each to the side just so I can use them as garnish later. So I've got all my aromatics in this bowl. I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. Now this is not an exact science. You don't have to worry about, unlike baking where everything does have to be measured fairly carefully, this is not. Just get yourself enough in your bowl. Looks like I used a little more than 2, maybe 3 tablespoons, and mix it up, because what you're going to want to do is make enough of this herbal mixture so that you can coat your roast in it. It's also another good reason why you want to wash your hands. Now I normally just use my hands. Olive oil is great for your skin. It's going to make your skin feel real soft. But if you're squeamish about that, you can always use a brush. So, as you can see, I'm just coating all around my meat with this aromatic herbal and olive oil mixture. Kind of press it into it. You want it to stick. And your hand's going to be gooey, but hands wash. So, there we go. You can see it. It's just kind of all over. So then I'm going to take it, this roast, and I'm going to put it into my roasting pan, which I have set over here to the side because I didn't think, wait, twice around, my hands are good. I'll put my pan over where I can get to it and put my roast into it. Now this pan doesn't look like much. It's actually probably seen better days, but this was my grandmother's, so I like it. I'm going to use it. Okay, and I'm going to wipe my hands on my apron, since that's what aprons are for. Then I'm going to carry this over to the oven. I have preheated my oven to 450 degrees, and I'm going to put this roast into the oven at 450 degrees for about 12 minutes. After which I'm going to lower the temperature to 300 for another 45 minutes approximately. Thing I forgot, meat thermometer. Make sure you have a meat thermometer. It's very important because a roast, especially a roast this size, it's difficult to tell when it is done. So you're going to put your meat thermometer into the thickest part of your meat before you put it in the oven. You want the internal core temperature to reach approximately 145 degrees by the end of the roasting period. So to recap, 450 degree oven, 12 minutes more or less. After that time, lower to 310 and finish cooking.